We are heading into overtime on 1620 The Zone. Shock the system. Welcome to the After Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen and John Schreiner.
The work week is over. Go ahead and put your feet up on the desk. Wait a while. Listen to the After Hours Lounge. Jimmy Allen, John Schreiner, Dan Campanen with you here tonight. Got a loaded show, a lot to get to. 5 plus Notre Dame plus, what's that be? 6 other guys. There is the new playoff format. We'll talk about that, break down what we think needs to change, what needs to stay the same in college football's postseason. Traditional spring games are back for now. Do we like it? We'll talk about it. Also, you like Captain Crunch and Dick's Sporting Goods and Pringles chips? Hope you do, because you're probably going to start seeing those type of logos on college football uniforms sooner rather than later.
Like all those things, actually.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a big fan. NFL coaching decisions. A quarterback that was playing football just 2 weeks ago, maybe the new head coach of the Buffalo Bills. And then we'll tell you exactly how many yards Jared Stidham is going to throw for on Sunday.
8.
That might be too many. This is the After Hours Lounge brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin this fall. I was kind of wondering how long this was going to take to come back, but Matt Rule has talked about bringing the traditional style spring game back. Now, he'd been a proponent for not doing it because
scouting, injuries, any number of reasons that we've heard.
Specifically said that the day after spring games, he would have line out his door of guys that were getting offers from this school and that school, et cetera. And be kind of surprising if that wasn't the case, right? My caveat to that was always, what's the difference than a random Saturday in the fall? You know what I mean? And obviously with the additional transfer portal going away, that gives the opportunity for this to come back up as well. But from the spring game this season, is there anything in particular you would like to see different out of Nebraska's offense or defense?
From what perspective?
Just from the way it looked this year.
Like the entire season?
Yeah. Like, is there something like, obviously we're going to see Rob Orge's defense, so it's going to look a little bit different with the 4-2-5. But like, is there a certain guy you're looking forward to seeing, or is there a certain unit you're looking forward to seeing? What would you like to see look different?
I think number one, the thing I want to see is how does the offensive line protect? And look, a spring game is not always a good indicator of how that's going to look, because you get it's a vanilla defense usually that they play. They don't blitz a ton. So you don't really get a sense of what blitz pickup's going to look like. But just the general athleticism of the offensive line, because I think that was an issue last season, right? Nebraska's offensive line made teams that couldn't rush the passer look really good.
Elite at times.
A lot.
For me, I think I need to see both of those units take a massive step forward. And not from you can't allow a sack standpoint, or you've got to move guys off the ball standpoint. I don't think there was a time this season where you looked at the offense or the defensive line and said, that looks like a unit. It looks like a cohesive unit, specifically on the defensive line. Now, the offensive line, there were times specifically in the run game where it flashed. And a lot of times, there were serious, obviously some plays made by Emmett Johnson, but there were also times where there was holes opened up by the offensive line. I think they deserve some credit for that. Now, in pass protection, that's a whole different conversation that can be had another time.
This has been my big complaint about offensive line play at Nebraska over the past, basically the duration of the Matt Rule era, is they'll be good at either thing, pass protection or run blocking, and terrible at the other. And they've never been able to put it together where like they have a line group that can really be good in both areas.
Well, and on paper, you're bringing in a guy in Jeep Wade who's got a polished product at Georgia Tech, and it looked different than it did in Nebraska. So you're making that hire for it to look like that in Lincoln. And I'm not 100% sold on Anthony Calandria for sure being the starter next season. Do I think he has a massive leg up at this point? Yes. But I do believe there's something to the fact that this coaching staff seemed to feel pretty comfortable going to TJ Lateef. Now, obviously, you didn't have much of a choice, but they seemed on face value to have a ton of faith in him. Now he
was first off the bench in the blowout situations early on. He was, year too.
And he was a true freshman. So you're also coming into this situation with another year under Dana Holgerson's tutelage and being in this offense and having the leg up. Anthony Calandre has the leg up in the experience standpoint, where TJ Lateef has the leg up in the system standpoint.
Right, knows the terminology, knows what is expected.
Yeah, and then there's the Danny Kaelin of it all. And there's always something about wide receivers and offensive linemen and running backs playing for their guy in the locker room. Make no mistake about it. TJ Lateef's going to have the leg up in that. Now, it helps with what we heard. Do things professionally and the way you shoot people's hands. And that's going to go a long way. There's going to be a lot of people in that locker room clamoring for TJ Lateef to win the starting job.
Well, I mean, that's your guy, right?
Yeah.
That's the guy you've played with already. I think on the other side of that coin is a bunch of those guys that he played with who were frontline players
also win.
Are not going to be like a lot of your offensive line is going to change.
Yep.
They're new. Your running back situation is going to be different. I mean, those guys did play with TJ, but your starting running back who got 98% of the carries is gone.
Yeah. That might be a low number.
Your veteran wide receiver is gone. The young guys got to play with TJ, but sort of the leader of that room in Dane Key is not going to be there. So, I mean, there is some turnover there and enough that I don't know that like the personality inside the locker room familiarity situation is going to be that much of a heavy weight in Lateef's favor.
I somewhat agree with that, but there's obviously going to be more guys coming back than there are not.
Sure.
So, and you're talking about on the frontline guys, the guys that are starting. I mean, some guys that aren't starting that are coming back next season too. And back to the offensive line, I like they've obviously made some additions to that group, but I still think there's a lot of people around here that are waiting on Grant Bricks and Sam Sledge.
Oh, sure.
Guys that have been heavily recruited underneath some different tutelage with a different voice in their ear to take a step forward. So I think I'm more excited to see the contingency that's coming back, to see if under a new voice and a new system and a new scheme, the guys we saw in high school around here, or I guess Grant Brick's a little further away than around here, but guys that we saw peak in high school take that next step forward another year in a college program, another year in a college weight program, another year at the training table, and with a guy like Jeep Wade, who specifically for a guy like Sam Sledge feels like would fit perfectly into that lateral movement, getting the next level style blocking that Jeep Wade likes to employ.
Yeah, and the other thing is like it was such a good unit last year. I want to see what the secondary looks like coming into this season.
Sure.
Obviously, you're going to have some changes with Malcolm Hartzog hitting the portal.
Yeah. And for everybody that was off the Malcolm Hartzog train, you referenced the Minnesota double move a million times if you want to in this segment, but he was a voice of experience in that locker room. And when he wasn't out there, it was noticeable from that standpoint.
Dude made a lot of plays too.
Agreed.
He got beat a few times, but he made a ton of plays as well and got consistently better every single year.
Sure. And again, it goes like you've also had three different defensive back coaches in 3 years. So having a guy that has some semblance of what, yes, it's a different defensive coordinator, different system, but there's also a semblance of guys that know what the head coach wants to. Yeah. And I feel like Rob Orch is probably going to have a lot of freedom in the system. He's clearly changing things up to be in his image from a scheme standpoint, but there's going to be some expectancy in the way you do things from Matt Rule that I think a lot of guys that have been in this program, which is why I don't think we saw the mass. I think there's a lot of people were expecting a mass exodus from the defensive back room with John Butler gone, and that didn't really happen.
Sure. The other thing I want to say about the spring game was just that I think doing it in a game format, while the coaching staff might have their reservations about it, right? For all the reasons we said, because you can get players hurt, you put things on tape for other teams to scout and for them to recruit your players away from you. For everyone except the coaches, for the players and the fans, it's much more fun. I think for the players having an actual game situation, to go through that grind of spring practice, to get out there on the field and feel like, no, it's not a game that counts for anything, but that competition environment.
You don't think there's a little bit of chapping going on in the
Of
locker
course
room.
there is. Yeah. But to have that competitive environment after you've just been, beating on each other for a couple of weeks, like to go out there and show it on the field in a simulated game environment. And then for the fans too, like nobody wants to go down and watch the players do drills. That's not what you want to go to the spring game for.
Dylan
you want to go and find your seat and get a soda and watch real football.
Dylan Rowell threw that football through the basketball hoop, and that was the highlight of that whole event.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm not paying for a spring game to go and watch what is basically a carnival and or just
Remember they
a
were gonna do
plain
that
old
tractor
open
pull?
practice.
They were going to do that tractor pull for a little while.
Yeah, that was
That was
sweet.
fun.
I would have been fine with that. I feel like Grant Bricks would have won that one, though, unfortunately.
The thing I'm wondering,
When is it supposed to be grass? Is it this year or next year?
Yeah. The thing that I'm wondering is, how does Scotty McCreery fall into all this?
That is a good question.
No, the real thing I'm wondering is, I'm intrigued to see what the attendance is going to look like for the spring game. There have been a lot of spring games around here that have sold out because of the expectations or the excitement around who the next head coach is going to be. This has been one of the most bad vibes off seasons that we've had in a long time around here, and we're only 3 weeks into it. And I'm wondering how that's going to reflect in the spring year. Now, everything we just talked about is intrigue and excitement. That is going to rear its ugly head, or beautiful head, depending on how you want to look at it, around the spring game. And I don't think we're hanging any offseason national championship banners this season in Lincoln, but there's probably going to be a little bit more positive vibes around the spring game than there are coming off the heels of a blowout loss in a bowl game.
Well, no doubt. I mean, look, Nebraska fans for
fan.
all of the
Hey, I'm Goat Boy Callahan. Sorry.
For all of the things that you can say about Nebraska fans, as they're the abused spouse that never gets the reward, that
went dark quick.
They show up no matter what, and they don't get their due. They don't get what they deserve based on the amount of loyalty that they show for the program. It's a group of fans that will find a way, not necessarily while the season's going on,
sure,
but heading into the next season, will mostly find a way to spin everything positive. This is not a fatalistic fan base for the most part. Like it is not doom and gloom once we hit February. Most of the time, it is not. There is just a constant belief that we're one move away from turning this thing around.
Do you feel like that's the vibe around this program right now?
I don't think it is yet.
I don't think that's
I don't think it is yet, but just wait. Just wait until they get a look at all the players in the spring game. I'm telling you, and John and Josh have done this every year, where you get the
John and Josh who?
The show that's on right before us.
I was trying to keep a straight face so I could get him to tell me what he was saying.
Famously, it's unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone.
The poll that they do.
Shout out to Ian Arnello.
Where they ask people to predict what they think the record is, and it just consistently gets more and more wins the closer we get to the start of the season, because I think Nebraska fans are eternally optimists. Even in the doldrums of the worst parts of the Scott Frost era, people still believed it was going to turn around.
Yeah, right now, if you were to ask me what our record's going to be next year,
10-2.
No. Oh, John, see, you don't understand the psyche of Dan Campanile.
Obviously 11-1.
Right now it's 7-5.
Uh-huh.
In a month it'll be 8-4.
Yeah.
And then after the spring game, we're going to be 10-2.
So this brings me to an interesting debate. There's obviously more at play than what the record looks like. But in your opinion, let's go glass all the way full, glass all the way empty. For Matt Rule to get a pay raise and an extension, what does that record have to look like next season?
To get another extension, they got to make the playoff.
Okay. What would he have to do to get fired? What would it have to happen for him to get fired?
0 wins.
Wow. You think they go 2-10, he keeps his job?
Keeps his job. They're not buying him out.
Man, and there is something to be said about the talent that's coming in the 27 class that's probably got a lot to do with it.
Matt Rule is not getting fired at the end of this season. Put it on the board. It's not happening.
I just find it really the money included. I tend to agree with you. But that's also the caveat is you're also in a day and age in sports where you need donors more than ever.
Yep.
And I find it really hard to believe that you can go back to the people that are writing you checks and say, we need more money for what you've seen for the last 4 years. If they go 7-5 or worse, with which this schedule coming up, I think that's a possibility again.
Matt Rule is not getting fired.
Depends on how much people want to spend money. Because if there's people that are willing to write that, listen, I don't think Matt Rule should be fired. I want to be adamant about that. But if there's people with the checkbook that go, we don't want any more of this, and we've got the funds for it, it's going to happen.
Short of some major moral personal failing, which I don't think
Sharon Moore
is in the cards.
I don't know.
Where's the margarita machine, Matt?
Or winning 0 games, it's not happening.
I just want to point out that 0 and 3 are the same thing, right? Like we can agree on that. They win 3 games, he's getting fired.
No.
You realize that to win 0 games, they'd lose to North Dakota, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that 0% chance. They lose. Listen, they lose to North Dakota. He's fired on Sunday.
But that's what I'm saying.
0% chance he keeps his job.
He's just, they're not going to do it. They're not pulling that trigger.
Yeah. I do also think, to your point that you made, Jimmy, with the 27 class that he has coming in and the promise that I think for especially Husker fans and probably the boosters sits on the horizon, that
bit never gets old.
Makes me think that there's no way that he would get fired after this season. 0 wins,
Fired.
2, 1, 3. That's a little bit scary. And
Right.
I think that would.
I'll give you 1.
Could you imagine Big Red overreaction after losing to Bowling Green? Yeah, we're going to recruit Sam Keller.
It's not like
That's
we
good
haven't
pick.
heard it before. They lost to Georgia Southern. We heard that Big Red overreaction.
They lose to Bowling Green, it would be way. I'm talking like 4 times worse.
If you can I tell my Georgia Southern story?
Go ahead.
Because I got the privilege.
Is it about Jimmy Allen correctly on air predicting them losing that football game?
No,
That was the thing.
maybe I don't remember. That was my first ever Big Red overreaction that I produced.
Was it really? I'm so sorry to hear that.
With John Bishop and Ravi Lula, and I just remember them sitting in the conference room watching the game.
The pandemic.
Both of them came in here right after it got done. John goes, all right, Dan, do you want a beer? And I went, oh, no, because I was like, I hadn't really produced a bunch at that point. And I was like, I don't know if I should. And he was like, you're probably going to want one. This is going to be a long night. And the first call was a guy, I went, 1620, what's your name? And he just line of expletives while he was on hold. And I was like, I guess I have to put this guy through. Dave, thanks.
Yeah.
I hung up the phone and my eyes were as wide as dinner plates. And John went, yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, you want that beer now?
He's like, it's going to be really bad.
USC football just hired Gary Patterson. So the defense coordinator today.
Shout out G-Pat.
Yeah. What a fall from grace. Hey, if you missed the opening segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Tell us your favorite Big Red overreaction moments there on our radio replay page. It was brought to you by Aloe Fiber. Just like all of us, Aloe calls Nebraska home. Born and raised right here in the Cornhusker State, sharing proud traditions of agriculture, athletics, education, and community. Aloe Fiber is bringing communities together, connection by connection. Head over to aloefiber.com/Husker Radio. Sign up for services that provide the Huskers with official internet, TV, and mobile. Check out aloefiber.com. Tonight, we'll be right back. The college football playoff is stuck. 1620 zone.
Somewhere I heard that life is a test.
Hey, everybody, it's Sean here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, 78th and Dodge. That's where they're located. That's where you can get the finest in men's wear, suits, polos. Hey, look what I'm wearing tonight. Catch me on the stream. It is a Johnny O pullover with a little Nebraska N on the chest. Did I wear it on purpose for this show? Yes, I did, because I wanted to tell you about how great it is. I've gained a little bit of weight, some good weight, since I got this thing, still fits because you know why? It stretches in all the right ways. It's easy to take care of. Just chuck it in the wash, chuck it in the dryer, pull it out, put it back on because it's number one on the depth chart when it comes out of the dryer. The first thing I wear at this time of year. It is great. It goes with everything. It's awesome. And it's got the Nebraska N on it. What more could you want? If you want something like that, you get yourself into 78th and Dodge and check out Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear and the great line of Johnny O gear that they have in stock every day of the week. Get yourself there. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from KETV Newswatch 7.
Frigid tonight, mainly cloudy, a low temperature 2 below zero. There's a chance we get a little light snow or flurries late. Still a chance of some flurries or very light snow on Saturday. Otherwise, just mainly cloudy and cold with a high temperature of only 7, but at least the winds will be light. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Rainby from KETV Newswatch 7.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Everyone at Controlled Comfort hopes you had a very Merry Christmas. But that doesn't mean that the gift giving has to stop. Get a full system for $3,000 off retail price. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Cross Strain Brewing Company, the official sponsor of One Beer Friday on 1620 The Zone, where beer is Nebraska fresh, never boring, and always evolving. Find them at the original location in La Vista, at their DraftWorks location downtown, or at crossstrainbrewing.com.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup is coming, and Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola are ready to keep teams and all their diehard fans hydrated all year long. To kick off the year, for the whole month of January, you can get 24 packs of Coke for $12.99, 10-pack minis for $6.99, and Dasani Water will rehydrate you with 24 packs, just $3.99. Stay hydrated with Chesterman Coca-Cola and take advantage of the savings all January long.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission, and time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, time to get out of the house. Enjoy Nebraska's many state parklands on those nice days when we get them. Grounds are open for all kinds of outdoor recreation. You just need to bring your own water, have a current state park permit, and bring along some money for those camping fees if you want to camp out. I always say, park it in a park. By the way, you can get lots of information on the Nebraska State Parks online through the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. Question: are you venturing outdoors this time of year? Ooh, if so, file a plan with somebody that you know and trust, telling them at least where you're going, when you're due back, assemble a survival kit, carry a first aid kit, tote your smartphone to record a voicemail location, and pack an extra set of warm clothing in a trash bag or a dry bag just in case. Please be safe out there. I'm Greg Wagner.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
627 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus by downloading the BU Bruins app to your smartphone tonight. The college football playoff is staying at 12 teams, allegedly. Now, obviously, the vote hasn't come in, but it sounds like there's going to be 4 automatic qualifiers from the Power 4, plus Notre Dame if they are a top 12 team in the rankings, no matter what. So my question to you, John Schreier, is do you think they'll still allow the top 5 ranked conference champions to get in? I know that would tell you, well, they're probably going to already have that with the Power 4 and then a group of 5 school. Well, now, as we've learned, that's not always the case. Thank the ACC for that. But I think this still leaves room for that to be a possibility. Gives you the automatic 4 with the Power 4 champions.
Whoever wins the conference championship.
Whoever wins those. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be the top 5, the 5 highest ranked conference champions, which would get you to 6. If Notre Dame's in the top 12, that's 7, which leaves you 5 wildcard spots.
Well, the only guarantees that are out there now, like the guarantees are as such: 4 conference champions, the top 4. Notre Dame, if they're in the top 12, and a G5 team. That's 6. There are only 6 spots, and one is like a half spot. The Notre Dame thing is like a half guarantee. If they're outside the top 12, they're not guaranteed to get in.
Right. I just think that I'm fine with this. Listen, I've been championing since the beginning of the discussion.
You've said from the start that conference champions auto bids.
Yeah, I just think there is a place for it. It makes the regular season mean more. It makes the conference championship games mean something.
The ACC is going to do something different with their tiebreaker system, though. I think all the conferences. I think all the conferences from here on in are going to do something different. They're going to put something in their tiebreaker system that says it's the 2 highest ranked teams. The tiebreaker is ranking, and that prevents a situation like what the ACC had this year, where the team that ended up playing for a national championship didn't even play in the conference championship game.
And they would have had it been ranking.
If it had been rankings based, Miami would have been in.
And nobody wants to hear this, but it's the truth of it. That is going to allow the sexier pick to participate anyway, which would have happened. Now, with that being said, Miami plays in the ACC championship game and they lose, they would have never made the college football playoff. So you may want to be very careful what you wish for in this situation.
Yeah, I still think, though, but under the new rules, Miami wouldn't have made the college football playoff anyway, because Duke would have been in.
Right.
And Miami would have been left out. They would not have made it.
And they played for the national championship. And that's why I think 16 is coming sooner rather than later. When you look at what Ohio State did after not playing for the Big Ten championship and being the 8th seed, going on to win the whole thing, what Miami did after not playing their conference championship game and being the 10th seed and going on to play for the national championship. I mean, there was this conversation happening before they switched to 12 teams from 4 to 12 about, well, look at the
it's just blowouts. It's
look
all
at the
blowouts.
1 and 4 and 2 and 3 games. Teams are losing by 30, which they were. But I think this tells you that even more than ever before, the 4 team, or before that, the BCS, was probably more flawed than we even expected it to be.
Well, but here's the thing is, I think we understand now also that the landscape of college football and the talent concentration is vastly different than it was when we had the BCS or even the 14 playoff. Like NIL and player movement has dramatically changed the level of talent on each team in a given year.
Hold that thought, because we're going to punt on the jersey patch thing. I have a question for you when we come back. I'm going to ask you before we go to break. Does the Indiana situation and what we see from a parity standpoint mean that college football does not need to be fixed? We'll debate that on the other side of the break. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Timber Woodfire Bistro. Head over to 87th and Pacific tonight, right across from Westside High School. If you're looking for a great date night experience, my personal favorite thing on the menu is the Timber Pie. It's the perfect combination of sweet, spicy, and savory, all on a pizza with some delicious cream cheese to go alongside it as well. Check out Timber Woodfire Bistro tonight. We'll be right back. Is college football broken? 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Bob at Williams Law. You know, it's a new year. You got new leaves to turn over. If you've got a legal situation that's hanging over your head still here in 2026, you need to get that taken care of. And maybe it's cropped up unexpectedly, whatever it is, criminal, civil, personal. Bob Williams is going to be able to walk you through the process and get you set for your big day in court. Bob's great legal mind comes in, talks to us about all the pressing matters in the world of sports law, and he does it in a way that we can understand. He can do that for you too when he sits down with you for a free, no obligation legal consultation. He believes in getting to know you first before you sign anything. He wants to make sure the relationship's going to work for both him and for you. So if you got legal questions, you need Bob in your corner. Check out WilliamsLawLLC.com.
Winter may slow pests down, but it's the perfect time to prepare your home for spring. Rodents, spiders, and other pests often show up indoors this time of year. A winter pest control checkup helps seal entry points now so you're not dealing with pests when warmer weather hits. At Recon Pest Services, we're proud to be a local company and supporting causes that make Omaha better. If you're looking for a pest control partner or even support for a cause, think Recon. Visit ReconPestServices.com and get your home ready for a pest-free spring.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8, and every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Rail Cars' incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Rail Car Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Everyone at Controlled Comfort hopes you had a very Merry Christmas. But that doesn't mean that the gift giving has to stop. Get a full system for $3,000 off retail price. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Are
you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.636 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Download the BU Bruins app to keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus by downloading the BU Bruins app to your smartphone. Tonight, John Schreiner asked you before the break.
We did.
We've seen more parity in college football maybe than ever before.
Love it.
I can't remember if we had this discussion on air, but I definitely know we've talked about it. Where guys like Colin Cowherd and Dan Patrick were talking about how the South is conquered and the North will never be able to compete in football again. And then the doormat of the Big Ten just hung a national championship banner this year. It's not like a cute story like a Drew Brees Purdue making it to the Rose Bowl. This is the national championship and the best team in college football this season. So that brings me to the question, because we've heard coaches talk about it. I know former Nebraska head football coach Scott Frost has mentioned that he thinks college football is broken. Do you?
And so, again, this is going to sound like a cop-out answer, but it's not, because I'll explain it. It depends on who you are. If you are a player, college football has never been better for you.
Yeah, it's a good point.
College football is absolutely not broken if you're a player. You have a chance to earn money. You have a chance to get yourself out of a situation that's not beneficial to you. You can go anywhere that you want to, as long as you can prove that you belong there. For players, college football, in my estimation, has never been better. If you're a fan, it depends a little bit on what you expect from college football. If you expect the college football of the 1970s, where players were locked in for 4 years, 5 years in some cases, never moved, and it was the same 10 teams who were at the top of the standings every year, you're not going to like this version of college football. If you're a little bit more of a modern fan and you like this new, balance of power that's spread out across the country to some, it's still hasn't dropped all the way down to the group of fives, but among the 4 leagues, there's a pretty good balance of power going on right now. And the Big Ten's at the top of the heap right now, has been for 3 years, but I think you're seeing more competitive games across the sport. Do you remember in, let's say, the late 90s, just for instance, how many times you would watch a game and the final score would end up 70-15, 70-14, right?
Usually on pay-per-view or Fox Sports 2.
You just don't see quite as many of those games anymore.
Yeah.
The game isn't played at that talent disparity to the level that it used to be. And I think that peaked somewhere in the early 2000s. Now you have a reason for every fan base to be engaged, because on a given year, if your team dips into the portal, builds a good roster, they could be right there fighting for a chance to get into the playoff. Texas Tech proved that. If you're a coach,
Indiana proved that.
You probably hate college football right now, and you're probably the one that's saying college football is broken, because you get a commitment from a player, and that commitment is only good for 1 year. Like every single year, you have to get your players to recommit.
Sometimes you have to sue them to get them to come back.
Sometimes you have to sue them to get them to honor the contract that they signed. So for coaches and for administrators, they probably do feel like college football is broken. If you're a broadcaster, if you're a network, you have never loved college football more, because the excitement, the number of fan bases that are engaged, the competitiveness of the games, all those things I talked about that were good for fans is even better for the television networks, because they're doing numbers that are insane for college football viewership. So there's one group of people, really, to me, who think college football is broken, and it's the people who are coaching it. For everybody else, this is the golden era of college football that we are entering into right now.
I'm glad you said that, because I couldn't agree more. I'm going to give you a number. and this number probably isn't going to be staggering to most, but the number's 21. 21 teams have won a national championship since 1980. Only 6 of those teams have won one national championship since then, and 2 of those were splits. So my question is, what is broken about this? Is the thing that's broken that we can't control and monopolize college football? Because I think if you look at anything really, I'll even throw the college football playoff into discussion, not necessarily the NIL transfer portal era. It was monopolized and dominated by the same schools over and over and over again.
We had dynasty runs over and over again.
We did. And like, you go from the Pete Carroll Trojans to the Nick Saban Crimson Tide to the Dabo Swinney eras and Clemson. And now I think there's something about that. I think there's something really powerful about big-time coaches and the draw of them. There was almost 2 decades of schools chasing Nick Saban in the SEC. And Nick Saban got a lot of people fired, but he also generated a ton of revenue and eyes on the product. Now, I think there's a guy currently in Bloomington, Indiana, that is going to have a very similar effect. I'm not saying that Indiana is going to go on a run and win a bunch of multiple national championships, but I think Curt Cignetti is going to get a bunch of people fired. People are already asking, how do we duplicate that?
I think he got James Franklin fired, honestly.
And listen, I think you're going to see the Curt Cignetti axe train, we'll call it, starting this season. Because we'll give you another year to see if you can catch up or figure it out or copycat or whatever. And if you can't, that's even more of a catalyst to move on from a head coach that maybe wasn't working out anyway. And if you can't beat him, we got to find somebody that can. But we live in a world where Indiana can now compete.
Texas Tech can compete.
That has never, ever been the case. And yes, did they go out and did they hire the right guy? I absolutely think that's the case. I don't know if they're able to compete. They're definitely not able to compete at this level if the transfer portal is not a thing. But you probably don't get a Fernando Mendoza without a Mark Cuban in the fold.
Put Curt Cignetti as the Indiana head coach in 2004.
He can't bring all those guys with him.
Not a chance.
Yeah. And he's stuck with the talent that was at Indiana. No offense to Indiana, but you weren't winning national championships before he was able to bring in a bunch of transfer guys and JMU guys.
Yeah, it's a perfect storm. It's the right time, the right guy, the right situation. But look, I love, like, as far as the game on the field. Now, I do think that there are some administrative things that need to be ironed out.
I agree.
I think we would do really well to have more contracts. We would do really well to have some sort of a transfer fee situation because, like,
which everybody wins the transfer fee situation.
Yeah, everybody does. Mm-hmm. So I do think there are some things they could do to make things a little bit smoother so we don't have so much drama. But the game itself, like, man, it's so good. It is so good right now.
And I will say, for now, as much as the drama makes it hard on everybody to try and keep pace and to keep up with the news and what's going on, I don't remember a time like before NIL and the transfer portal and with how much it's ballooned over the last few years where post national championship, we're going to be talking about college football until at least May. Before a summer layoff.
Dan, that's a fantastic point. Because the problem had been, and listen, this has been a concentrated effort by the NFL. As soon as college football stops, what do we talk about? The NFL draft, the combine, the NFL, the NFL, the NFL. They get a hold of 5 weeks.
We got OTAs and mini camps, and
we had 5 weeks of playoff or end of season divisional race conversations that dwarfed and minimized college football. You don't have that. And it's a constant discussion. And I think, to me, and Dan, I appreciate you bringing this up because I've never even thought about it this way. This is the only way they could have done that. It's not like you have combines with high school kids that are getting national attention. Obviously, you've got the Under Armour All-American Bowl, but the day that's over, nobody cares because all those kids commit. So I think this is a way that college football has found a way to become topical in the news circle and compete on that level-ish with the NFL. But I want to point out something else. The other reason that I think you can point at and say, we probably don't need to fix this, on paper, in a realistic situation, Tulane had the same opportunity to win a national championship this season as Georgia did.
Yep.
At no point in the history of this sport has that been the case.
Yeah, it's really interesting that the people who come up and say that hey, it's so broken now. All you got to do is buy a roster, and I just want to ask you, like, what do you think was going on before?
Wow.
What do you really think was going on before?
There's a reason we make McDonald's bag full of cash jokes.
But like, I brought up Nick Saban a minute ago, and the fact that nobody's gone, Jeremy Pruitt got caught trying to get guys away with bags full of cash, and all those guys he was trying to get ended up going to Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted to go pro, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not saying that every player was getting paid.
Every player in the SEC was getting paid.
But
every starter.
The big time guys were.
And listen, let me rephrase that. And it wasn't just the SEC. And if you think your school, and I understand where I'm sitting at, don't think your school was doing it. They got that money really quickly to start paying players, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. I just want to point one thing out on the Nick Saban thing. If you look back to, I think it was game 1 of the college football playoff last year between Notre Dame and Indiana. Granted, they had Shane Gillis on, and he's told the story multiple times, so you've probably heard it, where he made the joke live on air during college game day and was like, oh, now everyone can pay their players like Indiana Jones over here, because Nick Saban was wearing a funny little hat. And Nick Saban, took real offense to it and didn't think that oh, Shane Gillis is probably just joking with me.
Because he's a comedian.
He was Shane Gillis has said on record multiple times, he's like, after the broadcast, he's like, Nick Saban basically gave me shucked me on the shoulder and didn't want to talk to me at all. And he was like, hey, we're just playing around. We're just having fun, right? And he was like, no, Nick Saban stared daggers at me for another hour and a half of college game day. It's I thought he was going to have a hit out on me when I went on the road.
Well, don't say he doesn't, Shane. Never say never. We're going to find out what's trending on social media. Is it Nick Saban? We'll find out. We come back. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. It's brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. Got down below zero today. To get down below zero in your house, if it did, you've got major HVAC problems. You need to save this website right now. Head over to controlledcomfort.com. Hopefully your internet is still working while your heat is not. Have Controlled Comfort and Tony and the guys come out, take a look at your furnace, and get you back up and running. Give you peace of mind about your AC this summer as well. What's trending on social media? Dan Campbell tells us we come back. 1620 Zone.
Hey, everybody, John here for Paul Davis Restoration. You knew it was coming. You knew it was going to be here at some point. The cold weather. Yes, that's right. Cold weather means your pipes could burst if you don't have good insulation. And if that happens to you, you need to call this number, 402-553-0373. Because what's the worst thing when your pipe bursts? Yeah, it's getting it cleaned up. That's the horrible part. And Paul Davis will take care of all of that for you. Water damage in your house? Not to worry. Call the number. They'll be out in a flash and they'll get you fixed up and have your home back to the way it was before the damage happened. Mold mitigation, water damage, smoke damage. Paul Davis can do it all. Give him a call at 402-553-0373. It's Paul Davis Restoration.
Winter may slow pests down, but it's the perfect time to prepare your home for spring. Rodents, spiders, and other pests often show up indoors this time of year. A winter pest control checkup helps seal entry points now so you're not dealing with pests when warmer weather hits. At Recon Pest Services, we're proud to be a local company and supporting causes that make Omaha better. If you're looking for a pest control partner or even support for a cause, think Recon. Visit reconpestservices.com and get your home ready for a pest-free spring.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's.
January blues? Let Fernando's get you fired up with rewards all month long, like extended happy hours from 3 to 6 every day with $1 off house margaritas, $12 taco baskets, $2 off nachos, and a whole lot more. Get all the details at FernandosOmaha.com.
1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Are you one of them? You are not alone. Join Child Saving Institute for Coats and Coffee on Friday, January 24th from 9 to 10 a.m. A safe, welcoming space to connect with others who understand. Pick up free winter coats for you and your children. Share a warm cup of coffee and learn about resources through CSI's Family Empowerment Program to support your healing journey. Spots are limited. RSVP today at childsaving.org/empowerment.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Life is unpredictable with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$6:54 on a Friday night here.
No
on
notes.
1620 The Zone. Jimmy Al, John Schreiner, Dan Campion with you here tonight. We're brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're thinking about going back to school, go back to the ideal college experience at Bellevue University. No classes on Friday. The majority of your schooling done online. Check out bellevue.edu tonight. Dan Campion has survived the cold to be here tonight.
Indeed, I have. You know, Jimmy,
Indeed,
John,
it was.
Hey,
there are a few people that we can truly trust with NFL draft news. And, you know, like grading out prospects. Mel Kiper obviously comes to mind.
Todd.
Adam Schefter always knows what's going on in and around the NFL. But we might have a new draft prognosticator
Michael
that
Swear.
we might have to listen to.
who is it?
Let's take a look to what they have to say.
Who was that?
Quick and powerful. I don't know if those are the words I would use, but okay.
Yeah, fair enough. It's that is the lady who is making storms across the internet right now.
Oh, is this what's his name's girlfriend?
No.
Oh, okay.
It is the Miami student who was pictured during the fourth quarter of Miami's national championship loss to Indiana. Just Google national championship in ESPN and you'll find out.
By the way, that's what's his name's girlfriend.
No.
Yeah, she's dating Carson Beck, dude.
She's dating Carson Beck?
Are we talking about the person I think we're talking
The one-
about?
do you know what she does for a living?
I know what
that we think she's that you
her
think-
last name's Danger.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
I can't remember her first name. But yes, that's who that is.
She got to see Fernando Mendoza up close and personal.
Should Carson Beck be concerned?
951-1620.
We'd love your thoughts.
Honestly, I don't think so. I think she should be more concerned about Carson Beck.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
He's got a bad track
Asleep.
record.
How high is Carson Beck right now?
Asleep.
You know what? You moved to South Beach for a reason. I'll just leave it at that. If you missed a social media soundbite tonight, check it out on your radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. Find out who Carson Beck's dating there. It was brought to you tonight by Recon Pest Services. You have somebody in your house you don't want in there? They can't help you with that. But if you got a raccoon in your attic, that's where you need Recon Pest Services. Head over to ReconPestServices.com tonight. They can help you get rid of critters in your house or make sure they don't show up in the first place when it starts to get warm outside. Check out ReconPestServices.com. For more details tonight, we buy or sell on the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone. Just because it's cold outside doesn't mean your hot water shouldn't be working. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for AX Plumbing, located right here in Papillion. AXPService.com is here to help for all your big-time plumbing needs. That includes your water heater. If you've experienced a lot colder water this winter than you normally have previously, you need to have your hot water heater at least checked out, if not replaced. Head over to AXPService.com and work with Nick and the crew tonight.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in the romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Everyone at Controlled Comfort hopes you had a very Merry Christmas. But that doesn't mean that the gift giving has to stop. Get a full system for $3,000 off retail price. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Are you one of them? You are not alone. Join Child Saving Institute for Coats and Coffee on Friday, January 24th from 9 to 10 a.m. A safe, welcoming space to connect with others who understand. Pick up free winter coats for you and your children. Share a warm cup of coffee and learn about resources through CSI's Family Empowerment Program to support your healing journey. Spots are limited. RSVP today at childsaving.org/empowerment.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
$7:02 on a Friday night here at 1620 The Zone. Last hour of the After Hours Lounge, always brought to you by our friends at Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. It's time for yourself, Dan Campion.
Yeah, it sure is, guys.
You sure? Sound like you're struggling over there.
You know, the mic is in a different position,
Oh,
so
it's
it's
true.
really throwing me off. I'm like hunching
Technically,
over.
it's a completely different mic.
It is. That is true. But because we didn't get to it in segment number 3 of tonight, I'm going to talk about it now. Thanks for not blowing up Buy or Sell completely, Jimmy.
That's what I do, Dan.
The NCAA has approved a proposal to allow schools to put sponsor patches on their jerseys. Buy or Sell, this is good for college football, and give me a timeline as to when we see that glorious Runza patch on the Huskers.
Ho. I'm going to double down on that. How quickly do we start seeing logos on the side of helmets? Can you listen? We do alternate jerseys anyway. We change up the helmets from time to time. Will we see a Runza
sponsor-funded uniform?
Will we see a Runza instead of the red N on the side of a helmet?
Nah, I don't think it gets that far. The
money's
jersey
right.
patch. What was how long, Dan? Buy or sell?
So buy or sell that this is good for college football, and then give me a timeline when we see the Runza patch on the Huskers jersey.
Now, I know a lot of the uniform purists out there have vomited in their Cheerios when they read this morning, but
did I tell you that?
I don't think it's such an egregious thing. If it's a little patch somewhere on the jersey, and look, they got to recoup the money that they're paying the players somehow. So it's not terrible. It's fine. You won't even I know everyone's going to get up in arms about it, but come 5 years from now, you won't even notice it anymore. You won't even care. Do you care who's on your NBA sponsorship patches anymore? There was a huge explosion about that when the NBA started allowing teams to put sponsorship patches on their jerseys, and now nobody even talks about it. It's a thing that you're going to talk about for a minute, you're going to forget about it, and you're not even going to notice it.
Shout out to the Mayo Clinic.
I don't know.
And to Target.
I don't know what's happened to me. I don't care. This doesn't bother me in the slightest. I don't know why. 5 years ago, I feel like Jimmy Allen would be an old man screaming at clouds right now.
Okay, so you know who did Paul Lucas at UniWatch, which is not a thing anymore, RIP. was the big loud voice about not putting any patches on jerseys.
Yeah.
Like that was his thing, was like no advertisements, no patches, no anything. And like from his aesthetic perspective, I get it, I understand it. But from my perspective, it's like, yeah, but you don't really like unless you are a uniform nerd and you're paying attention to all these things, you probably don't even notice most of them.
I think it's because of how many times we see alternate jerseys now that this has bothered me less. Because now it's just routine.
Yeah.
But like this is happening across a lot of sports. I really feel like the effect of the success of European soccer in how it's translated to America has really helped American sports adapt to European things.
And they put a giant sponsor on their kids.
For sure. And listen, I mean, this is happening in just more than college football. The WWE, which Vince McMahon being gone helps a ton, but had never put advertising on their wrestling mats before. Now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So
well, the UFC kind of breached the
but then they
door on that one.
then they did the Reebok sponsorship and stopped allowing
fighters to put sponsors on their shorts.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Dan.
Jimmy.
That's me.
We're going to get to the man who's at the center of all this intrigue in a minute here. But the insider Adam Schefter has reported today that GM Brandon Beane, famously of the Buffalo Bills, is going to allow Josh Allen to be a vocal part of the head coach search. Buy or sell, this is a good idea.
I mean, he's your franchise quarterback. Plan on him being there for a long time. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, if you want that guy to stay with you for his entire career, I think you should probably let him at least have a say in it, right? It probably behooves you as an organization to keep your best and most noticeable player happy, right? Like that would be a good thing to do. And to understand what his strengths are and how he might be able to relate to the coach that you're bringing in, the most important position in all of professional sports. Like, I think we all agree on that.
Left tackle.
It's a good idea to at least allow him to have some input.
Can I tell you guys a fun fact about me? It's always hard for me not to chuckle at the word behoove, and I don't know why. Go ahead, Dad.
Because it sounds like beehive?
Probably part of that. My big thing with it is I worry about giving one player this much power in the room when you're making this kind of a coaching decision. Because Sean McDermott, I'll be on the train of, I don't think he probably deserved to be fired just in general, but I just worry that Josh Allen kind of seems like a bit of a nerdy guy, and the Bills have already interviewed Mike McDaniel, and I feel like those two would mesh from an offensive concept kind of point of view, and just a football nerd.
Can you hire a guy that just got fired within your own division?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Should you?
Probably not, but
the Giants hired a guy who got fired within their own conference.
Fair enough.
Robert Saleh keeps getting jobs.
Yeah, Robert Saleh's got a job now.
No, the Giants.
Remember the Jets?
Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh. He's in a different conference. He's in the AFC. The Ravens are in the AFC.
What am I saying? Yeah, never mind.
John's drunk.
Forget it.
Sorry.
They hired
Strike
a
that.
Harbaugh.
Reverse it.
Let's see. Oh, we must once again speak about Alabama. Charles Bediako, the former two-way player in the NBA who is re-enrolled in college, is now playing for Alabama and, of course, suing the NCAA so that he can play for Alabama. Buy or sell, if this goes wrong for the NCAA, we may have a terrible problem on our hands.
I think we already have because I think we already have a terrible problem on our hands. The fact that they're allowing G League players. Listen, I know I brought up the Trey Alexander thing last night and talked, but couldn't hear them mics because they were off. Talked to John Bishop about this before we went on air. But like, I love Trey Alexander. Would I love to see him in a Creighton uniform again? Absolutely. Do I think morally in any way that should be a possibility? Absolutely not.
Yeah, the thing, like we just talked about whether or not college football was broken, and I absolutely do not think that it is. There is something going wrong with the way college basketball is is being administrated now.
So
it's a problem because you have players who have chosen to go and ply their trade as professional athletes, turning around and going, yeah, I take it back. And like, that's not good for anybody, man. Like, if you want to go and enter, I think this is fair. If you want to go enter the draft and you don't get drafted where you want to be, I think you could be like withdrawing your name and going back to school. I have no problem with that.
Can I tell you why I'm okay with that sentiment? Because there are times where you get evaluated, i.e. different sport, but Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
And you don't get the outcomes that you were basically promised. So I do agree with that sentiment.
But to actually have gone and played in an NBA affiliated professional league where like you could have potentially been called up at any time, playing against other professionals, a lot of whom have appeared in the league, that doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't seem right. I think that system is absolutely broken. And I understand that the NCAA is afraid to enforce anything lest they be sued, and that the courts have passed these injunctions to allow players to come back and play again. I think it's wrong. And in some cases, I think the NCAA is just sort of opening the gate and saying, go on through.
Yeah, we don't want to lose
in the
any more money.
hopes that they're going to entice Congress to come in and save them from any future antitrust suits that they're going to go through. And rather than like doing what they're there to do, which is enforce rules of participation, they're just stepping out of the way and trying to force the hand of the legislators to save them.
And I don't know if we're going to talk about this, Dan, so I hope I'm not stepping on a buy or sell question, but the athletic director at Nebraska basically said that yesterday. If you missed Troy Dannon's radio segment last night, he said, the way to get rid of anybody suing about antitrust lawsuits is basically get rid of all the rules. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but essentially led to that, like, hey, don't be surprised if there's no rules and everybody's just doing what they want to for a little while, because that's probably the way we're headed.
So the Troy Dannon press conference is sort of what brought this up, but then I read, because I buy on this question 100%, because I read a basically doomsday scenario on the Big Four Letter Network's website today that was like,
you sure it wasn't Avengers Doomsday? That movie's coming out at the end of the year.
This is real doomsday, because they were like, this is all like very terrible for college basketball. And there's like a bit of like, get your poop in a group and we have to figure this out for basketball. But they're like, if this as an antitrust case goes to the courts, the NCAA loses, there truly wouldn't in general be anything stopping there wouldn't be anything stopping like an undrafted free agent in the NFL who maybe got a cup of coffee at a training camp just saying, yeah, you know what? I think I'm just going to come back and play college football for another 1 to 2 years. Granted, the NFL and college football kind of have a bit more of a simpatico relationship than the NBA and college basketball do, where there always was a little bit of that gray area where, a la 2 years ago, Ryan Kalkbrenner could say, I'm declaring for the draft, and could go and get evaluated and find out probably not going to get drafted that high. I'm going to go back to college for another year, hone my skills, get better.
There's one thing to note, Dan. It is important to point out that you could always have done that. You just couldn't sign an agent.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So the doom and gloom of it all is probably what scares me the most. I don't think this would ever come to football in any way, shape, or form. But if it did, boy, howdy.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I think it helps that currently, I mean, maybe the UFL to some degree, but there isn't really a G League of the NFL. And that's kind of the difference here.
It's college football.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Dan, what else we got? We have one more?
Yes, this will be our last one because I don't want to step on the coaching carousel kind of conversation that we're going to have in a little bit. But we're just about 2 weeks away from the end of the year awards in the NFL, and all eyes, as usual, are on the MVP race. Of course, it's all about the quarterbacks this year with Matt Stafford, Drake May, Josh Allen, and Trevor Lawrence. They all make the list. And Christian McCaffrey is our lone running back. Give me your case as to one of these men will be MVP.
I think a lot of people want Drake May to win it. I think he's deserving of it.
Drake May's good.
I guess I'll say
Drake May's good.
I think Matthew Stafford might get the sentimental votes though, and I think he's going to end up being the MVP for that reason. I think Drake May deserves it. I think Stafford's going to win it.
I think it's going to be Drake May. I think the massive turnaround that has happened at Foxborough Stadium this season, Mike Vrabel's
pretty good.
Has really changed the attitude around there. And look, Drake May's been amazing. He's really been a catalyst for that turnaround. I think he's going to win it.
Yeah. So I was torn because, of course, every article right now is like, it's Drake May and Matt Stafford, hands down. No way that it's not going to be one of the two of them. I would like to see Matt Stafford win it because it's kind of like an old dog walking off and like getting one last final hurrah to kind of say like, you did it. You're going to be great. And
get his Breakfast Club moment.
Yeah. I kind of hope that they, win this weekend so that he gets another Super Bowl appearance under his belt. Cause that would just be nice after everything that happened in Detroit. The Drake May lover Twitter account and Instagram account that just tweets about Drake May, and that's all it is all the time, every single day.
You know who runs that, right?
Tom Brady?
Alex Drake.
Oh. My bet would have been and Michael May. The darling of TikTok.
Might be the one.
Shout out Bake Myths. But
what are we doing?
I think it's going to be either of those two guys. I will say, and I will make this argument until my last breath every single year, whenever there is an MVP award, it should go to Christian McCaffrey. Because if you were to take Christian McCaffrey off of the San Francisco 49ers, I don't think they make the playoffs. Ooh. With the way that the season progressed around that team. And I know that hurts to hear, Jimmy, but
I think I agree.
Christian McCaffrey, good.
Before we get out
and
of this
weird
segment,
tattoos.
Circa Sports has published their 26-27 college football championship odds. Number one, guess?
Oregon.
Indiana.
Wow.
Plus 650. Texas is at 2, plus 725. Notre Dame 4, plus 800. Ohio State also tied at 3, I guess, plus 800. Then Oregon at plus 900. Georgia, the only other team under plus 1,000. They're plus 950. Nebraska plus 50,000.
50
to win the national championship. So you can put $100 on Nebraska to win a national championship and maybe win $50,000 next year.
You saying Texas brought something up to me?
I'm going to put a buck on them to win $5,000.
We live in a world where DJ Lagway, Dylan Raiola, and Arch Manning may all be either undrafted free agents or very, very late draft picks at this point. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Speaking of the NFL, there's some coaches going on around the National Football League. We'll talk about that. In some of the stuff that we've already talked about a little bit. People forget that John Harbaugh famously did not coach in the NFC. We'll talk about that when we come back on 1620 The Zone. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Is brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. Listen, you always want to have somebody in your back pocket you can count on, and that's who Controlled Comfort really is. I've told the story a bunch of times. I'll tell it till I'm blue in the face because it's just the truth. When we were in LA for the Madrimov Crawford fight 2 years ago, my AC went out. I was 1,000 miles away from my home. The Controlled Comfort folks came out and they were able to get my heat back on in an instance. They can do that for you in the wintertime, just when it's cold outside, and get your furnace going back up. If you have big time HVAC problems, head over to controlledcomfort.com tonight. We'll be right back. Talking about the NFL coaching carousel right here on Dan Campen in 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Aloe Fiber. I've had Aloe Fiber for over 2 years now, and as soon as we made the switch, we used to not be able to get internet all the way back to our bedroom upstairs. It was on the opposite side of the house from our router. We got a Wi-Fi extender put on the back of our house. Before that even happened, we never had a circle spinning. We never had buffering. We put the Wi-Fi extender on the back of our house, courtesy of Aloe Fiber. I could be 2 blocks away from my house and get internet on my phone. If you've got big time internet issues, if you want an entire gig of internet all the way up into your house, you need to stop by allofiber.com. Make the switch and get out of the Stone Age tonight.
Your Omaha area forecast from KETV Newswatch 7.
Frigid tonight, mainly cloudy, a low temperature 2 below zero. There's a chance we'll get a little light snow or flurries late. Still a chance of some flurries or very light snow on Saturday. Otherwise, just mainly cloudy and cold with a high temperature of only 7, but at least the winds will be light. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Rainby from KETV Newswatch 7.
Winter may slow pests down, but it's the perfect time to prepare your home for spring. Rodents, spiders, and other pests often show up indoors this time of year. A winter pest control checkup helps seal entry points now so you're not dealing with pests when warmer weather hits. At Recon Pest Services, we're proud to be a local company and supporting causes that make Omaha better. If you're looking for a pest control partner or even support for a cause, think Recon. Visit reconpestservices.com and get your home ready for a pest-free spring.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit omahasignsandwraps.com tonight. That's omahasignsandwraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup is coming, and Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola are ready to keep teams and all their diehard fans hydrated all year long. To kick off the year, for the whole month of January, you can get 24 packs of Coke for $12.99, 10-pack minis for $6.99, and Dasani Water will rehydrate you with 24 packs, just $3.99. Stay hydrated with Chesterman Coca-Cola and take advantage of the savings all January long.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:25 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become number one in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. Big news in the NFL today was the Bills continued to conduct interviews for their vacant head coaching job. We talked about Brian Daboll last night. They interviewed Philip Rivers today for the vacant head coaching job of the Buffalo Bills. He famously was just playing in the NFL playoffs, or almost in the playoffs, as the Indianapolis Colts, the starter in week 17, which they did not win, kind of lost in pretty embarrassing fashion. But it brings up a question that I think is really interesting. Philip Rivers has been a successful head coach
in high school,
at the high school level.
I was about to say, is this unearned?
This feels a little bit nepotism-esque.
Premature.
But
I think Philip Rivers could probably be a decent head coach.
I do too. And it got me to thinking, because there's another guy who recently was a quarterback in the NFL that was a high school coach that lost his job as a high school coach because of some
old Ted.
Yeah, some
Theodore?
excessive treatment of helping players with rides of Ubers and food and other things, which I don't have a problem with, by the way. Secondly, I kind of wonder if Teddy Bridgewater wanted to, if he could maybe throw his name in the hat for some of the lower level college football jobs.
Yeah,
he won a state championship at Miami, or at Hollywood High School in Miami.
I can't think of a player who went from being like player straight into being head coach in the NFL. From player to head coach.
Well, I mean,
I have an answer for you. George Halas, Curly Lambeau.
Yeah, that's the only one I could think of. The two guys from Green Bay.
Like immediately.
Yeah, I mean, in the modern era, absolutely not.
Usually you're a position coach and then you become a coordinator, and but straight to head coach.
Mike Ditka was a coordinator before he was a head coach,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, he is the only other guy
But I mean, at this level though, like week 17, you hang him up. Week 1, you're the head coach somewhere else. That's a pretty big jump, man. And I think this maybe have been a favor to Philip Rivers, because it helps to go through the process, obviously, and see what that looks like, and apparently answer personality questions if you're in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that.
We did already, didn't we?
No,
was that off air?
Off air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was off air.
My life's a blur. Yeah, go ahead and let's dive into that real quick.
Yeah, so there's a report apparently attributed to Tom Pelissero that
he's Italian.
The Cleveland Browns are using a quote unquote data-driven approach to hiring their next head coach, and this involves personality tests, writing extended essays, take-home assignments, aka homework. And there have already been a couple of coaches who they've asked to come in and do the process, who've seen it and then have gone, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. Pass. And one of them has been hired for a different job in the meantime.
Yeah.
But this is just like, I don't like it. It is so Brownsy to just try and we're going to hack the system and do it different. Like,
can I tell you why this doesn't really bother me as much though? It's not like anything else they've done has worked.
Hasn't.
Yeah.
It certainly hasn't.
I mean, they've clearly got a process that they've followed up until this point, and that has gotten them absolutely nowhere. So if this is the Steelers, okay, I'd probably hate this. But at this point, if you're the Browns, you got to be like, we got to do something different.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can look at it as outside the box thinking.
It's definitely that. I don't even think that's debatable.
But apparently the guys that they have wanted to interview for the job have just not been down with it. So
what is the best job in the NFL?
Best job in the NFL as far as coaching.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
think for a long time it probably would have been considered the Cowboys. I definitely don't think that's the case anymore.
The Cowboys job has never been the best job in the NFL because you have to deal with Jerry Jones and all his personality.
There
quirks.
was a very long time in the mid-90s that was looked at as a benefit. It's definitely not that anymore.
Honestly, if you can get it, I think for a number of reasons, it's the Pittsburgh
That's
job.
my answer as well, because listen, only 3 guys have had it basically since World War II. Yes, I know there's a few years between them. I'm kidding. But
since the 60s.
Yeah, it really feels like you're looking for longevity. You want to be an NFL coach?
Stability, belief in you, fan support.
Good front office.
Yep.
An owner,
not afraid to spend money.
I was just about to say an owner that'll spend money, fan base that'll show up if you suck or not.
Everywhere in the country.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Dan, other than obviously the one you're legally obligated to say, do you have an answer to the best place to be a head coach in the NFL?
So the Steelers, I would say, is definitely high up there. I was like the Green Bay Packers just for the decision making that they make as a front office, as far as like drafting and draft capital.
Pretty good.
It's been good since I've been alive, so I can't complain there.
Dan, in your defense, it's been good for a lot longer than that too.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. It seems like it would be the Steelers or the Ravens. Arguably, ever since
they only have 3 coaches in their history. So
yeah.
That doesn't extend back as long as the Steelers' 3 coaches, but still.
Well, and they get, I think just with the amount of runway that owner is allowed, kind of all of the head coaches that they've ever had, as far as their first one was a stopgap. Their second one won them a Super Bowl and then just wasn't good enough anymore. But
you talking about Steve Biscotti?
Yeah.
Okay. I know.
And then
talking about Pittsburgh now.
18 years of Harbaugh. I think that tells you that through the good, the bad, and the ugly, that they're going to stick by you. But it's Pittsburgh, bar none. If you're a decent head coach and you can literally have a winning record every year of your career.
I think Miami should be a better job than it is. It really should be.
I don't understand why it's not. Like, same with Arizona.
Look, you have an incentive to attract free agents with no state taxes. You have incredible climate. It should be a no-brainer that's a great
I wonder how much
place
that
to
matters
coach.
when you have NFL level money, though. You know what I mean? You can just travel there in the off season.
Yeah,
you can have a second home in South Beach if you really want to.
And
that's fine.
For from a game check perspective, this is the only thing I'll push back on. From a game check perspective, it doesn't matter where you live or where you technically are part of a franchise from. You get taxed on your game check where you play. So if you play in California, you're getting California taxes.
But half your games are in Florida. So
and therein lies the fun of it all. Also,
at least half your games are in Florida.
I don't know if I'd want to have to deal with Stephen Ross either.
That's a lot of it too, man. And that, I brought up Phoenix in Arizona, but talked about the Steelers. One of the things you referenced was great fan base.
Yeah, tremendous.
Problem with the Arizona fans is none of them are from Arizona or have ties. So half the people in the city are probably Steelers fans or somewhere else anyway.
Yeah, nobody who lives in Phoenix is from Phoenix. So,
hey, if you missed our discussion about the NFL coaching carousel, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, the best suit buying experience in the Midwest. They have all the options: sports coats, slacks, ties, golf polos, you name it. Jerry Ryan has it. Stop by 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. AFC NFC championship predictions when we come back. 1620 Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Timberwood Fire Bistro. You've heard Jimmy tell you all about the Timber Pie. I want to tell you about some of the other things on the fine menu over at Timber. When you walk into Timber, you know that you're in for a incredible culinary experience. You smell the wood fire as soon as you walk in, the great oak accents all throughout the place. It is fantastic. We've gotten to try some of the great food from Timber, and they have a lamb dish on the menu. And I'll tell you, I am not a huge fan of lamb. That's some of the best lamb that I have ever had. If you're a fan of lamb, you should definitely get in there and give that a try. We had the steak and frites. We have tried just about everything they have to offer on the menu, and I'll tell you, all of it is incredible. They have seafood. They've got pizza. They've got appetizers. They've got just about anything that you can think of. There's going to be something for you over at Timber. Why don't you stop in this weekend? Bring your sweetheart. She's going to like it too. Check out Timber.
Winter may slow pests down, but it's the perfect time to prepare your home for spring. Rodents, spiders, and other pests often show up indoors this time of year. A winter pest control checkup helps seal entry points now so you're not dealing with pests when warmer weather hits. At Recon Pest Services, we're proud to be a local company and supporting causes that make Omaha better. If you're looking for a pest control partner or even support for a cause, think Recon. Visit reconpestservices.com and get your home ready for a pest-free spring.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Everyone at Controlled Comfort hopes you had a very Merry Christmas. But that doesn't mean that the gift giving has to stop. Get a full system for $3,000 off retail price. Get ready for the Nebraska summer heat now. Call Controlled Comfort.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Are you one of them? You are not alone. Join Child Saving Institute for Coats and Coffee on Friday, January 24th from 9 to 10 a.m. A safe, welcoming space to connect with others who understand. Pick up free winter coats for you and your children. Share a warm cup of coffee and learn about resources through CSI's Family Empowerment Program to support your healing journey. Spots are limited. RSVP today at childsaving.org/empowerment.
Get the truck you love and never pay a dock fee, only at Baxter Ford. That's right, pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Save on our incredible selection of new Ford trucks, F-150, F-150 Lightning, Super Duty, Maverick, and Ranger, and shop with confidence, knowing you'll never pay a dock fee. Experience our helpful way to buy a car, with no handoffs, no hassles, and absolutely no hidden fees. Shop now at BaxterFord.com.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:40 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Over a decade of being number one in Omaha. Go over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com. Tonight, AFC NFC championships are on the line. A trip to the Super Bowl decided in 2 games this weekend. Side note, Jake Janicek is very fast when he's getting back from the bathroom.
Woo! Go Jake.
The AFC game is the Patriots at Mile High. Pats, even with a Bo Nixless Denver team, are only a 3.5-point favorite, John Schreiner. Who scores the first touchdown in the AFC Championship game?
I'm going to go with the tight end, Hunter Henry.
RJ Harvey and Ramondre Stevens are both plus 650 with the best odds to score the first touchdown in this game. Dan, are you going with either one of those guys?
I am not. But you know me, I love a left field type of play when it comes to betting.
Okay.
I'm gonna bet.
It usually pays the best.
What?
So that usually pays the best.
Yes, it does. I'm gonna bet you opening kickoff, Denver receives it, fumbles it, and a man by the name of Chad Muma is gonna recover said fumble and score a touchdown.
Here we go.
Okay. Do we have odds on what that would pay?
We don't, but I can look it up.
Look that up, because that would be interesting. It's got to be like north of 10,000. I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. He's a big moment type guy, big play receiver over his career, obviously not at the latter end, but has the ability to do so. Plus 950 if Stephon Diggs is your first touchdown getter in the AFC Championship game. Jared Stidham is going to start for Bo Nix, who has a broken ankle. 200.5 is what his passing yards have been set at.
Yeah, I think they're going to be playing from behind a lot, so I think he's going to go over that.
Dan Campbell, does the Auburn alum get over 200 yards?
Yes, he does.
I think he does too, and I don't think it's in a positive light as well. I think he goes well over, because I'm with you. I think they're down big early. The over-under is set 42.5 for this game. Over or under 42.5 in the AFC Championship?
2 good defenses. Take the under.
Dan?
Ooh. 42.5.
More than 6 touchdowns scored?
Between both teams, I'm going to take the over.
I'm always going to be on the side of defense in championship games. Give me the absolute under this one as well. Point total, Patriots 3.5 points. Pats win and cover?
Pats win and cover. I've got like 20-13.
Dan?
Yeah, Pats easily win and cover this one, I think. I think the loss of Stidham and
loss of Nix, you mean? They have Stidham.
The loss of Nix.
They're hoping to lose Stidham.
The fact that they're probably going to have to lean a little bit too heavily on Cortland Sutton is going to be the downfall of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I think the Patriots roll too. I think you're looking at 31-3, somewhere in that range. Give me the Patriots to roll in this game.
31-3.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game at halftime, and then they just break the Broncos.
I think the Broncos defense is good enough.
Sorry, Stibbs.
Hang in.
Let's flip to the premier conference in all of football, the NFC. We got the Seahawks and the Rams, who are playing the premier division in all of football.
Yeah, this is the game.
This is a key offense versus defense style game. Listen, I think that's no slight to Seattle's offense. Seahawks at home, the 12th man, 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. Over-under 46.5.
I think this one goes over.
Okay. Dan?
I'm going to say over.
I'm going to go under.
Oh,
I think it's going to go significantly under 46.5.
Okay. All right.
Sam Darnold, over or under 231.5 yards passing?
Over.
Dan?
Over.
I'm going to go under. It's the Kenneth Walker game, in my opinion. Matthew Stafford, 253.5 passing yards. Who throws for more? Matthew Stafford or Sam Darnold?
I think Darnold does. Just for reference, when these two teams played in the regular season,
it
was 38-37 and 21-19.
Okay. Dan, who throws for more yards?
I'm going to say
Darnold or Stafford?
I'm going to say Sam Darnold throws for more because kind of in the vein of it's going to be the Kenneth Walker game. I think this is going to be the Kyron Williams game for the Rams.
Yeah, I think Darnold throws for more in this one. Who scores the first touchdown in this game?
Give me JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, he's having a year. Man, arguably the two best wide receivers in the game in this game.
Puka and JSN.
Yeah.
I still think you have to look at Jamar Chase. And
that's it, arguably. Dan?
Oh, I was like, Jamar Chase isn't playing, John?
No.
I was confused.
As far as best wide receivers in the game.
You don't know what divisions and conferences teams are in, so now Dan's
I don't
just
have any
questioning
idea.
everything you say.
Yeah, give me the...
It's Friday.
Let me give Mr.
6 Beer Friday.
Plus 800 a roll. Give me Devontae Adams.
Ooh, okay. You know what? I'm going to go on a limb. Puka Nacua scores the first and only touchdown for the Rams on Sunday, which gives a little bit of indication I think is going to win this game. Seattle minus 2.5. They win and cover?
No, I think this game is much closer than that. Both games were decided by narrow margins. As I just said, 1 point when it was played in Seattle and 2 points when it was played in Los Angeles. I think this is a close game. I will take Seattle to win, but not cover.
Dan?
Neither of those things is going to happen. Seattle will neither cover nor will they win. Let's go Rams.
Seattle wins and wins comfortably. Give me Seattle 27, LA 7 in a massive blowout. I think both games are pretty boring late in this one. Let us know your thoughts on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com on either the AFC or the NFC championship game tonight. It was brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. Maybe you're like me and started to notice a slow drip outside of your faucet that froze over that you didn't catch. Thank God I caught it today. You might not catch it next time. Call 402-553-0373 if you have a slow drip that ends up bursting a pipe in your house. Work with Paul Davis tonight. We'll be right back. Closing arguments. We're going to update you on our poll questions from our Twitter feed. 1620 Zone.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience from their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen where you get to watch the magic happen to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with the trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/game. That's trustandwill.com/game to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/GAME.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Did you just start closing time midway through the song? I don't know if we've ever done this before.
It started a little bit later than it usually did.
What's up? Can you talk into the microphone? Is it doing anything?
Actually, you know what? Let's
give it a shot, shall we? I saw you over there working. Nope, you got nothing.
Oh yeah,
nothing. Nothing. It's dead. R.I.P.
You are absolutely dead over there, Dano.
It is closing time inside the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. If you're looking for a free estimate to replace your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding, head over to pyramidroof.com tonight. It's time for our closing arguments, courtesy of Bob Williams of Williams Law, John Schreiner Law. What do you got?
You might have heard about some things that Dabo Swinney said today. He accused Ole Miss coach Pete Golding of tampering with his linebacker Luke Farrelly. And I just have some news for you, Dabo Swinney. There's no such thing as tampering in college football right now.
There's no rules.
You can't call it tampering because that's not a thing that's punishable in college football right now. You're allowed to talk to players on other teams. That's within the confines of the rules. So complaining about tampering isn't something that's meaningful. What you can do is say, we have some rules that we need to get sorted out. The NCAA needs to help us enforce contracts. We need to have certain mitigations against, players who are committed to one school being lured away by another school. You can say all that, but to say it's this is his quote, a straightforward case of tampering doesn't actually mean anything. That's nothing.
Yeah.
You don't get to say it.
It's also not a thing. Dan Campion.
I famously was not here last night. Thank you to Brody Heidemann for doing such a wonderful job and filling in.
Dude, he killed it. No offense to you, but it was almost like you were in the room.
I would hope not. I would hope that would be,
less, right?
I would hope that would be the case. So I did not get to share my thoughts on 2027 quarterback for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, Trey Taylor. And everything that is going on there, I would like to say, number one, I think it's a little bit weird that he's going to live in Lincoln, yet go to Millard South. But I understand that in this age of opting into certain high schools, that is something that can be done. I don't think from an hour away that is something that it feels a little bit dirty to me, and I don't really enjoy that portion of it. That being said, Trey Taylor, you're very good at using Twitter to hype up the Nebraska program, hype up other recruits, and to always be on top of everything. But I got to say, you got to settle it down, man.
Yeah, it's a bit much sometimes.
You got to. When he made the announcement and put it on Twitter, the amount of people that he was responding to and was kind of clapping back at, for lack of a better term, it's a bit egregious. And sometimes I'm going to let you know, man, you just got to let those sleeping dogs lie.
I agree with that. You don't have to have a take on everything.
That's not something that needs to be overly addressed. And just don't. What doesn't need to be said doesn't need to be said.
I think the UFC and the sport of wrestling, the sport of wrestling, have a major problem. It's been a problem for a long time. I mean, anybody that's ever wrestled or fought and haven't been able to make weight and the toll it could take on your body, this is a problem you had. If you haven't seen, Cameron Smotherman was at the podium today, literally weighing in, was able to weigh in, make weight, and then walked off the weight scale and fainted because of lack of nutrition in his body.
Low blood sugar, bro.
I don't know how you fix this problem, but I don't know if you get rid of the half-pound rule or
we fixed it in high school wrestling. We fixed it in high school wrestling in Nebraska. You do a body composition test, and they tell you here's your minimum allowable weight that you're allowed to compete at.
Yeah, I think that's got to be some form of that has to be put into professional fighting. If you missed any of the show tonight, check it out on our rated replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Bob Williams of Williams Law. You hear Bob come in here every single week and talk about legal issues facing big-time sports figures. You don't have to be a large sports figure to work with a lawyer of the caliber of Bob Williams. All you have to do is head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Bob and his team will sit you down, walk you through the process, explain your rights, and get you ready for your big day in court. Check out WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. For Dan Campinen, that's John Schreiner. I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Pie Day, everybody.
3.14159 or cherry, whichever.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here. Stop by 144th and